स्वं बोधमात्रं परिशुद्धतत्त्वं विज्ञाय सङ्घे नृपवच्च सैन्ये तदात्मनैवात्मनि सर्वदा स्थितो विलापय ब्रह्मणि विश्वजातम्।
परमर्षिभ्यो नमः परमर्षिभ्यः हरिः ओम्। उपासकानां यदुपासनीयम् उपात्तवासं वटशाखिमूले तद्धाम दाक्षिण्यजुषा स्वमूर्त्या जागर्तु चित्ते मम बोधरूपम् अद्राक्षम् अक्षीणदयानिधानम् आचार्यम् आद्यं वटमूलभागे मौनेन मन्दस्मितभूषितेन महर्षिलोकस्य तमोनुदन्तम् विद्राविताशेषतमो गणेन मुद्राविशेषेण मुहुर्मुनीनां निरस्य मायां दयया विधत्ते देवो महान् तत्त्वमसीति बोधम् ममाद्यदेवो वटमूलवासी कृपाविशेषात्कृतसन्निधानः ओङ्काररूपाम् उपदिश्य विद्याम् आविद्यगध्वान्तम् अपाकरोतु सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुत्यर्थगोचरं वन्दे वाच्यार्थानामगोचरं लक्ष्यार्थवपुषं वन्दे शङ्करं देशिकं गुरुम्। सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्तगोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। हितमिदमुपदेशम् आद्रियन्ताम् विहितनिरस्तसमस्तचित्तदोषाः भवसुखविरता प्रशान्तचित्ताः श्रुतिरसिका यतयो मुमुक्षवो हि। So, the 21st of this month is sacred day of Shankara Jayanti. Before that, we are doing this Vivekachudamani as a part of Shankara Jayanti worship. So, where did we stop? Which 68. So the Guru-disciple conversation in the format of Guru Shishya Samvada, we are continuing this work. The 66th verse. Acharya said, as you have to yourself experience the joy of Atmanubhava, as you are experiencing the suffering of ignorance, samsara, you have to put all effort to be free. Tasmat, hence means all the things that has been already told. Like when you are sick, you have to take medicine. This is one important point that he told. When you are hungry, you have to eat. Like that, this samsara bandha mukti, release from suffering also, it is your right. And to attain that, first thing is you become conscious of the dire situation. The consequence of ignorance. Once you are fully aware of that, your whole personality wakes up. Your entire effort, paurusha, we call paurusha, willpower, is turned towards sadhana or quest. So this is what Shankaracharya said, tasmat sarva prayatnena bhavabandha vimuktaye svaireva yatnaha kartavyaha. All yatna, all effort should be put by oneself. Rogada viva panditai, like roga, as in the case of a disease. See, sometimes we see very often people affected by serious disease, like terminal disease, fatal disease. We need not name it. Something. The moment you become aware of that, all seriousness comes in the taking medicine or doing treatment. Like that. See, the physical world is so real to us, but we are not even real. Even the mental world is not real to people. So much effort is put for this physical world. But all the suffering, all difficulties are happening in the mind. Where you have joy, where you have peace, where you have the feeling of contentment. So at least you take a peep into your mind, you know what have you done to yourself. Total disorder, total chaos. So there at least you feel, oh, I want peace, shanti. Then you have to put effort. What all disturbs you, you have to give it up like poison. What obstructs your peace, you should move away from that. Otherwise you are not serious. That's all. So this is what Shankaracharya tells here, and he told the disciple that whatever questions you have asked, they are all wonderful. Sometimes you should give a pat to the disciple that you are doing great sadhana. You are going in the right way. So the Guru, he tells the disciple, what you have asked, this is great. See, it's not simply flattery. From great questions, true, genuine questions, the world is always blessed by someone asking a serious question. In Bhagavata, Parikshit, the king, is asking Shukacharya, I am going to die. What should I do? What should I meditate? How should I meditate? I have only 7 more days to live. And the Guru tells, Variyaneshate prashnaha krito lokahitam nripa. Oh my dear king, you have blessed the entire world by your genuine question. Because from that question, this great, grand Purana Bhagavatam came. Like Arjuna asking the question. Like you can see recent history also, Narendra asking Ramakrishna. Simple question. Is God realization possible? Have you realized God? He was a young boy, 15 years old. But the question was like a fire inside him. You know what happened? Somebody told, he used to ask everyone, is it possible to really have experience of God? Somebody told Rabindranath Tagore's father, Debendranath Tagore. He was called Maharshi Debendranath Tagore. I don't know who gave him that title, but he was called so. So he was staying in a houseboat in Ganga. Somebody told him he is staying there meditating. You go and ask. This boy jumped in Ganga. He swam and got into the boat. He was meditating. Debendranath Tagore was meditating. He just knocked him, called him. He opened his eyes and saw a youngster standing there wet, with radiant eyes, wet. He asked, what do you want? He said, have you seen God? Suddenly someone is asking you, have you seen God? And that person, Debendranath Tagore, he said, my dear boy, you look like a yogi. You can certainly have the experience of God if you put effort. See, I am asking you whether you have seen God and you are doing flattery to me. He was not satisfied. Then only he meets Ramakrishna and asks the same question, have you seen God? And that illiterate sage, he said, my dear child, I have seen God more intimately than the way I am seeing you. You can also see. But who wants it? That is the sad part of it. He says, who wants it? People want fame, they want money, they want all the pleasures. They want various things from world. For that they are shedding so much tears. Who is shedding tears to see God? Who is really weeping for God realization? You know, that weeping is the first sadhana that we did when we came to this earth. Right? That is the first thing that everyone does when he comes here. Not who am I. Bhagavan Ramana tells Arunachala, if you are not going to reveal yourself, my body will melt in tears. And it will flow like a river. Sherayanin mei neerai urugi kanneeratru azhiven Arunachala. So that longing is needed. That thirst for that state. You know, actually that also comes by divine grace, touch of divine grace. And the divine grace comes in what form? Somewhere you meet a sage. The moment you look at him or her, something happens within you. The potential of realization that is inside you, you are reminded of that. Now you cannot rest. Now you cannot rest. It is, see, when Murugnar came to see Bhagavan, this happened exactly like that. He was sitting before Bhagavan and his whole body was shivering, full of tears in his eyes. And you know what he remarked? He stood up and said, Poch, Ella Poch. Everything is gone. Everything is gone. What gone? Kunju Swami and Vishwanatha Swami went behind him because he was running. He said, I am so much attached to my mother. Now my mother is going to lose me. Because he has seen something which is so powerful that no more can any worldly thing can hold him back. So that kind of touch of divine grace comes in life, and this longing for realization, longing for freedom arises in the soul. Then you know, then you get the intimation. See, there is a poetry, I think it's Wordsworth, right? Intimation of immortality. I don't know, Pere? So that is it. So intimation of immortality, you get that. You know that there is something which is deathless, which the death cannot take away. So that arose in the disciple, and he goes to the teacher, and the teacher tells him, by your question, that question is very noble. Worry on. And it is what all the scriptures are expecting a person to ask. After giving all this, the Guru is telling, now I will reveal you the teaching. And the first thing is, listen. Shrinashva avahita. Avahita means great attention. When you listen with your whole being. If you can do that, this listening is a very powerful thing. Shravanam. What all three things are there? Shravanam, Manana, Nididhyasana. But actually, there is a school in Vedanta which says we don't accept Mananam, Nididhyasana. We don't accept any sadhana other than Shravanam. Means, by mere listening, the process is over. It is like that you are wearing a necklace and you are searching for it here and there, and a person comes, it is already there in your neck. You need not do mananam. Oh, the chain is in my neck and I have found it, like that. That very moment you recognize it, Tattvamasi, recognize it. That is what Bhagavan also says. Bhagavan, of course, both Bhagavan will say, but in Ulladinarpad, Bhagavan says, when the Vedas declare Tattvamasi, your job should be over. Adu nee endru ammaraigal aarthidavum. In delight, they are telling you Tattvamasi. Now, after that doing who am I is also faithlessness. Uran inmayinal, he says, you don't have real power. Because if you have the power of faith, when Guru tells you, you are Brahma, over. You come inside the hall, sit for 2 minutes and go away, Jivan Mukta. How simple. No sadhana, nothing. Many of Bhagavan's direct disciples did not do who am I. Only we do who am I. After breakfast, go to meditation room. After lunch, go to meditation room. Many of them, one moment it is over, because that recognition, the attention turned towards the I, that's all. Anyway, but that kind of ripeness, that kind of maturity is very rare. So Bhagavan gives a profound dimension to Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. In letters from Ramanacharanatirtha, I think it is there, where Bhagavan says, Shravana means, first outwardly you get the Shravana, then you listen to the I within you. This is Shravana. Then you hold on to it. That is Manana. Free of all the limitations of body, mind, emotions, you experience the I. Stay in that state where the I thought vanishes and the profound infinitude of the real nature shines forth. That is Nididhyasa. So the whole process begins inside, ends inside. No outside phenomena. Anyway, but here now we are in the traditional Vedanta. So we will come back here. Shrinushva avahito vidvan Yanmaya samudiryate Tadetat shravanat sadyah Bhavabandhad vimuchyate. See, here also Shankaracharya says Shravanat sadyah. The moment you listen, that very moment Bhavabandhad vimuchyate. You become free of this bondage of becoming. Bhava means becoming. I want to become that. I want to become this. This is mind. I am somebody now. Slowly I will do sadhana and become a jnani. This is the way mind works. See, when we see a small child, we usually ask, what will you become? Future. We want a very bombastic answer from that child. Very rich family. Their father was a doctor and his mother was also a doctor. And one visitor, a relative, he asked the child, what do you want to become? And the boy said, auto driver. Because for him, for that time, auto driver was his hero. Every day taking him to school and bringing him back. This becoming somebody. For that all the school, college and at last come to Tiruvannamalai, become enlightened. Very cheap idea. See, Ramakrishna had many disciples. Everyone were unique. One of his disciples, Swami Premananda, was a great bhakta. Very sweet person. Used to fire. He was a great disciplinarian. So one disciple, he said, Swamiji, Ramakrishna made all of you great. But we do not have such a master to put all attention on us. Then that Swami, he became very emotional. He said, "Do you think, my child, that Ramakrishna made us great? No, he made us nothing. He erased us." So that is the purpose of Guru, where the ajnana, avidya is removed. This jiva bhava is removed. So the moment you listen, sadhya means instantaneously, bhavabandhat vimuchyate. Now, next verse. Mokshasya hetuh prathamo nigadyate.
Mokshasya hetuh prathamo nigadyate.
Vairagyamatyantam anityavastushu.
Vairagyamatyantam anityavastushu.
Tatashamaschapi damastitiksha.
Tatashamaschapi damastitiksha.
Nyasah prasakta khila karmanam bhrisham. Traditional Vedanta is expecting too much from us. When I see this shloka and look here, it is very difficult to be honest. Mokshasya hetu. At least in Tiruvannamalai, one can be very happy seeing the audience, because at least many of them are very, very serious, very dispassionate. But when we go to some other city, some people, Sunday, so that we came to listen. Today we had nothing else to do, so why not go and listen? Such people will also come. So here the Acharya tells, for moksha means liberation, freedom, you can say realization, the first prerequisite, prathamaha, is atyanta vairagyam. How to do? Intense dispassion. Vairagyam atyantam anityavastushu. See, the Shastra says, without sufficient vairagyam, you have clarity. You know what the teaching is, everything, but joy will not come. You know everything. There are people, many, they say, I know what this is. So very clearly. Have some glimpse of it. But why the joy is not come? Vairagyam is not enough. So Vairagyam is the foundation. Vairagyam is the field in which this plant grows. So what is Vairagyam that we will see now? Later on we will see. Before that it will close. So next time only, before that be prepared to listen about Vairagyam. So Vairagyam atyantam. Atyanta means intense. Anitya vastushu. Things that are not permanent, that are temporary. Because they will give you pain. So Vairagyam atyantam anitya vastushu. Because see, if you have attachment to impermanent things, individuals or objects or your own mind, your own mental ideas, emotions, then you have booked your ticket for sorrow. It will be taken away from you and then you will suffer. So they have found, when the person becomes really intelligent, truly intelligent, first thing that he beholds, that intelligence is Viveka. When that Viveka is there, You look everywhere. Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Patanjali says it is dangerous to have intelligence, discrimination, because sarvam dukkham vivekina. Wherever you look, you see it's dukkham, dukkham, dukkham. That is what Buddha said. People generally they say dukkham, 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 solariko. Sometimes I used to talk about death. People say, many listeners they used to say, don't talk about death. So vairagyam atyantam anitya vastushu atyanta vairagyavata samadhihi samahitasaiva dridaprabodha. This is what very beautiful verse in Vivekachudamani. Atyanta vairagyavataha samadhihi. When the vairagya is intense, when he listens to Mahavakya, his mind will very easily enter samadhi. Samahitasaiva dridaprabodha. When his mind has entered samadhi, then only you can tell that the person is awakened. Prabuddha tattvasya hi bandha muktihi. When he has woken up to the truth, he has understood the tattvam perfectly, then he is absolutely liberated. Muktatmanaha. What is the use of that liberation? Muktatmanaha nitya sukhanubhuti. The sukhanubhuti is constant, great release, absolute relaxation, vishranti. Then only it comes. So, vairagya is not a negative emotion. Vairagya is the fruit of true understanding, samyak jnanam. When you see around, naturally vairagyam has to happen. I don't know whether it is true, but I heard that there is a word, gullible, in English. They say the name came from seagull. They will be sitting 10 or 15 on the seashore. Even if you shoot 2 or 3 of them, the others will sit there. We are also same. So much death we are seeing around. So many problems. We are very, very great, courageous people. Very brave. We are so sure that death will not come to me. Old age will not come to me. Disease will not come to me. So vairagyam is pure intelligence. Bhagavan's death experience, I will say, is vairagyam. You don't need death experience. You need vairagyam. Then it will give you the same preparation. When you are perfectly dispassionate, everything is dead to you, other than truth. Everything appears, as in Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, Mayaiva nihataha purvameva. All are killed by me, Arjuna. They are potentially dead, over. So when you see that vairagyam is, according to tradition, Vivekachudamani, when we say vairagyam, we might imagine a gloomy state. But Shankaracharya says it is the most blissful state. Vairagyanna param sukhasya janakam pashyami vashyatmanaha tachet shuddhataratma bodha sahitaha swarajya samrajya dukh When Vairagyam is combined with Atma Bodha, the person becomes an emperor, a Chakravarti. He becomes absolutely free. See, Bhagavan was Virakta Shiromani, wandering Tiruvannamalai even without a vessel. In his own hand was his bowl, receiving alms in his palms. He will eat like this and clean his hand, brushing in his head. Nothing was there with him. Absolutely free. And later on, after building all ashram around, Bhagavan used to remark, in those days I used to feel myself as an emperor. Now I feel I am in a jail, prison house. Real freedom is Vairagyam. So Vairagyam atyantam anitya vastushu. When you have that, when you are sufficiently dispassionate, this jnanam will taste like nectar. Otherwise, the same jnanam will appear as poison to you. Because you are afraid. What will happen to all this if you tell this jnanam? I have so many problems in the world, so much wealth. I am afraid whether all these will go away from me. Actually, nothing will happen. There were jnanis who were kings. There were jnanis who were householders. So, Vairagyam is not external. Real Vairagyam can happen by understanding the real nature of the things around, individuals around. A right understanding comes to you that nothing other than this knowledge of the self matters. When that is there, then jnanam is so simple. Along with that, when Vairagyam is there, natural consequence is shamaha. The mind will be very calm because you are no more bothered about anything in the world. So you are very calm. You are not attached to anything, you are very calm. Shamaha. Then damaha. The senses are all in order, controlled. Of course, when you are alive, when you have prarabdha, destiny, certainly problems are going to visit you. As long as a person is alive, doing something, living in this world, one type of problem or another type of problem will come. Everyone have their own problems, unique. When such problems come, what should I do? Vedanta says, we will give you a method. What is that method? Endure. The simple power that nature has given you is endurance. Without utilizing that power, you go and ask, what is the method? What is the method? Endurance without any lamentation. Endurance without any constant brooding over that. Endure that. Swallow it. This is titiksha. We will see all that. Nyasa prasakta akhila karmanam visham. That is the last thing. Shankaracharya says renunciation. The last thing he says is all motivated actions you renounce. All desire oriented activities you give up. Nyasaha prasakta akhila karmanam prisham. Then what? ततश्रुतिस्तन्मननं सतत्व ध्यानं चिरं नित्यनिरन्तरं मुनेः ततो विकल्पं परमेत्य विद्वान् इहैव निर्वाणसुखं समृच्छति ihaiva nirvana sukham samrchati. Here, when you are alive in body, you attain that great sukham of nirvana. What are all the practices that one should do? Shrutihi tan mananam. Upanishad, the Vedanta Shastra, the teaching of the Acharya. You listen to that and contemplate mananam. Then what? Satattva dhyanam. In solitude you sit and deeply meditate on what was heard. How much time? Chiram nitya nirantaram. Santatam shalipara santoshamahave, as Bhagavan puts it. Chiram, for a long, constantly. Nitya means all time. Nirantaram also means without any interruption. Chiram nitya nirantaram mune. Munehe. For that manana shila, constantly you have to meditate on Atma. Then tataha avikalpam parametya. One attains that state where there is no vikalpa, where there is no duality. The greatest vikalpa is jiva bhava, the ahankara, the thought of I as a separate individual being, as a separate individual. And that is blown out. Nirvana sukham samarchati. One attains nirvana sukham, the sukham of nirvana, the happiness of nirvana. So that is the highest attainment. Nirvana actually means, like you keep a camphor, burn it, gets blown out. That is nirvana. Like that, when you attain realization, the I thought merges in the truth, in the real self, the jiva bhava. And then you know that this I, this self-image is not the real me, it is not my real nature. And what shines forth there as the substratum, as the source, it is my real nature. After that recognition, you become firm. Then you come back, then also that recollection is there with you. You will come back to your prarabdha, but the recollection is there with you. You know what the truth is. So this is the step by step Acharya is telling. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Yato mamatma bhavasittumeva tato na vachyam mama kinchitasti yathataveshtam kurvam tathaiva tvam atmanatham ramanam bhaja.